Hello, this is Amy Zahui with the Jerusalem Connection Friday Red Alert Report for March 31, Campus Ups and Downs. Last week I mentioned there was an event on the campus of Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia at the Jewish Community Center on March 21st. The night of March 21, somebody strewn about the lawn of the community center leaflets with swastikas on them. The lead rabbi had found them in the morning to his dismay and cleaned them all up as news got out that this hate crime, so to speak, had occurred in their small community. Now, the Jewish Community Center on the campus of Virginia Tech has been there for 8 years and have to date experienced no such level of animosity or pushback for their existence. This was the first event of its kind, and it was met with absolute shock by the community, both the Jewish community members as well as the community at large. The response to this included rallies and vigils that would offer peace and solidarity and love and kindness. Rachel Berman, a personal friend of mine I've known since she was just 6 years old, is a senior at Virginia Tech, a Jewish female leader in her community and a member of the Halal House. She was on the news in various coverages of the events to explain how she felt blessed and privileged and empowered by not this act against her people and her community group, but this act against her entire campus that was responded by with lots of love and connection and support for not just the Jewish students, but for all the community members, including non-faculty and non-student, but Blacksburg citizens in the area. They vowed to respond to every act of hate with 100 acts of kindness. So the turnout, the vigil, the support, the offering of love and solidarity to the Jewish students by the community at large was absolutely overwhelming and was a true blessing. There were Christians involved, faculty, sororities and fraternities publicly offered official statements of support and solidarity, and of course, all vowed to not tolerate such acts on their campus, but in response to any acts like this, when they occur, the response will be peace and kindness. And this was such a positive event to witness through the eyes of my friend Rachel, as she was interviewed on several local TV stations and in local press in Virginia, and it was exciting to see the response and the outcome of it was positive rather than negative. Now, this is in great contrast to what happened the week after in Calgary, Canada, where a Palestinian student group had an organized rally at City Hall in Calgary to protest Israel. Now, a small family and group of Jewish people and supporters decided to respond with an anti-protest, a peaceful demonstration of their love and support of Israel by assembling across the street a small fraction of the number of people in the Palestinian group. And they had Israeli flags and t-shirts that support Israel and signage that said Canada supports Israel, which is actually a fact and on the record in Ottawa with legislation and edicts and speeches on Parliament stage that indeed Canada supports Israel. So this group of Jewish folks went down in an effort to bring signs of positivity and peace and support for Israel and stayed across the street to not confront physically the Palestinian student group, which was protesting at City Hall. Now, the result of this is all on camera, on video, and you can find it at the Stand With Us website or Facebook page. Now, the result of this was that members of the Palestinian student group crossed the street to confront the Jewish folks, and they ripped the signs out of their hands. They ripped the t-shirt off of one young man and bit him and pummeled him. One young woman was beaten in the face by a man, her hair pulled, and when she was crouched down to protect herself, he kicked her. Another mother of these two young people, so probably a middle-aged woman, she was beaten by a male protester. And another cousin had the Israeli flag, and several of these other students tied it in a knot around his neck, and he was gasping for air, and in a panic finally got it off after some struggle to remove the flag from around his neck. Moreover, a female protester from the Palestinian side stuck a camera in the young Jewish woman's face and screamed at her, "What did you expect was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen?" So this is the kind of activity that is so scary and difficult to watch, and was not actually in the mainstream media that I could see, at least not in North America. And it is such a different response than what we saw in Blacksburg just the week before. And I bring this all up to you because it is important for us as consumers of the news, as Christians, or people of any faith who are seeking truth, to understand that the good and the bad must be exposed because it's truth. So the optimism and positivity that came out of Blacksburg, Virginia, on the Virginia Tech campus, that's what needs to be trumpeted, that the Jewish students there are looking for peace, and they're looking for camaraderie, and they're looking at working with people. And we also need to expose when certain interest groups resort to mere violence and oppression of free speech and free expression, even on the grounds of North America, where free expression and freedom of speech is a cornerstone of our society, that people should be able to debate ideas and happenings without resorting to blood and violence. In Calgary, 6 people ended up in the hospital in serious condition from the Jewish group, and that is a complete tragedy, and most people don't know about it. The Palestinian student group that was organizing the protest at City Hall, certainly not every member of that group had attacked the Jewish people. However, it is known that they had particular ties to Hamas, members of this group in Calgary, and so that's a little bit disconcerting. So please, by all means, tout the truth wherever you find it, repost it on social media, tell your friends and neighbors, work in your own community to espouse the truth and share the positive things that happen and learn from the negative things that happen. Shavua Tov, have a great week, and Shabbat Shalom.